Hey, what's up, everyone? It's yoga class 138, and it says you are undertaking all health, well-being, and exercise at your own risk. Remember that. There shouldn't be a huge amount of risk today. We'll take it pretty easy. Actually, we'll do a nice varied class today, starting with some spinal work and a little bit of breath work, and then we'll move through a little bit of flow. This is going to be my last class of 2023 at the Virtual Village Hall. So I just wanted to extend my gratitude and thanks to all of the beautiful people at the Royal Voluntary Service who do such an amazing job, and they look after all of us teachers and hosts of all of the beautiful events that they put on. They look after us so well. So thank you for them for their support, and thank you for your support of tuning in every week or doing the classes on catch up or whatever content you've been looking at this year. So many fantastic teachers out there. So thank you to everybody who has contributed, and mainly, yeah, I say mainly, especially people that have been to my class, not mainly people that have been to my class. That sounds very conceited, doesn't it? But yeah, thank you for people that have turned up and found the yoga useful, or maybe not, or maybe sometimes, you kind of pick what you want from the class, and hopefully we provide enough varied content to satisfy all of your diverse needs. So thank you. Shall we get started? It said stay hydrated and drink water before, during, and after your exercise sessions. Cold today though, isn't it? So I would say stay very warm. It's not hot weather today, is it? So stay warm. Make sure you might have a blanket next to you, or you might keep your socks on for this first part of the class. And I'm going to go back there next to my new swanky radiator, which I've installed this week. And then come sitting up tall on your mat and draw some length into your spine. And we'll just spend a little bit of time here just to arrive. I should say as well, this is my last class because Carolina's covering me next week. So Carolina will be teaching next week. She'll be covering, and then I think there'll be a pre-recorded the week after, in between Christmas and New Year, and then I'll be back first week in January. All right, that's all sorted. So bring the hands onto the knees. Maybe bring the thumb and the forefinger together. Draw that length into your spine if you haven't done already. And then if it feels good, then you might just have a little intuitive wriggle around. You might find stillness straight away, but do whatever kind of feels more natural to you. Don't think about any of this stuff too much. I guess the main aim is that you're giving yourself loads of room to breathe into your belly and in and out through the nose. And we'll manipulate the breath in a nice, gentle way in a moment, and then we'll build it up a little bit. But for now, just breathe. And notice what you brought onto your mat. I always say these 2:30 classes, they're a tricky time because I think a lot of us get a kind of a mid-afternoon lull, we've eaten, and then we sometimes feel tired. So well done for making it this far. And just notice what's present, and that can be physically or emotionally or a mixture of the two. Maybe check into parts of the body that need nourishment, kind of breathe into parts of the body that feel a little restricted. Maybe you're on the other side of it where you think, you know what, I'm feeling pretty good today. And that's perfectly reasonable as well. Use your breath just to bring that presence and awareness. And even though we have length in the spine and we're sitting in this kind of proud yogic posture, then soften where you can as well. So in some ways we bring activation in the body, but some ways we soften the body as well. Nice. So we'll take one more complete round of breath together. And then take a full exhale, either through the nose or through the mouth. And then on your next inhale, keep the eyes closed with the gaze off. Inhale, just sweep your arms all the way up into the air. Pass your hands together, push the palms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, round your spine, bring the palms forward. So a seated cat-cow. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. And then as you exhale, let the breath go round the spine. Bring the navel back towards the spine, really round the shoulders. Inhaling up. Exhale round. Inhale up. and exhale round. And then this time, inhale all the way up And then separate your hands and twist over to the right. So your left hand will probably come onto your right knee, right hand behind. Inhale to find some length in your spine. And then exhale, just twist towards the right. Doesn't have to be a big twist. Stay connected to your breath. Nice deep inhales. And full exhales. One more like that, deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the hands all the way back up. And then as you exhale, twisting over to the opposite side, over to the left, right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Lengthen the spine as you press into the fingertips of the palm of the hand. Inhale to find length, exhale into your twist. Inhaling, finding a little bit more length. And exhale, a little bit more into the twist. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the hands all the way back up. Clasp the hands again. Push the palms up. And then just a little bit of side to side movement. Relax your shoulder blades as much as you can. Inhale again to reach high. And then exhale just into a little side bend. Doesn't have to be big. Just moving with your breath. Always inhale, lift out from your navel. Press your sit bones down into the earth as you exhale. Just let that movement come quite naturally on a diagonal. Nice. And then one more. Inhale to center. And then exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Swap the legs over if that feels good for you. You can remain sat on something if that's all right. I'm sat on a little blanket. And then you're going to bring the hands onto these, a little bit of movement into the spine. So inhale, forward, exhale, round. So this is Sufi grind or Sufi circles. And you're just circling your torso around your waist. So we'll do a little bit of spinal work here that you might be familiar with. Kind of move the energy up towards the crown of the head. So say in that mid-afternoon lull, energizing the body. And then towards the end of the class, we'll bring the energy right down again. So just build in slowly. And the movement is yours, so you can be up nice and high and you can draw little circles and you kind of think about the chest a little bit more, or you can bend into the elbows and you rotate a little bit more in terms of the torso around the hips. So work out what you need. Wherever you are, breathe deeply into your lower spine. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale and then come back the other way. Swap it out. Maybe starting nice and cautiously. And then maybe making movements a bit bigger, but your choice. And stay relaxed through the face. A soft focus. Maybe the eyes are closed. Then it could feel quite different this way round. Side to side can feel different sometimes. So give yourself that flexibility to move slightly differently. Might be deeper, might be a bit shallower, might be slower, maybe a bit faster. A couple more complete rotations. And then inhale, come all the way back to center. Take a full exhale and then lean back into your hands and separate the legs, release them, and then just drop your knees to either side. Do a little bit of movement through your hips. And then we're going to come back with the legs crossed and we're going to do a little bit of breath work. So we're going to build this breath. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing, but we're going to make it a little bit quicker than we normally would. So left hand will stay on the knee, sit nice and tall. Right hand will be up towards the nose, and then just block off. You're going to use your thumb and your little finger on this one. So block off your right nostril. Take a deep inhale through your left, and then block off your left, full exhale through your right. So that's just a simple rhythm. Block off the right, inhale through the left. Block off the left, exhale through the right. And then you can speed it up, so it can come something like this. Inhale left, exhale right, and you just alternate the thumb and the little finger. And then block off the right nostril. Take a deep inhale through your left. When your lungs are full, maybe just hold the breath and then squeeze your belly up and in. Kind of think about the energy rising to the crown of the head. And when you're ready, exhale. Bring the right hand down. Just drop into a little bit of stillness and be curious maybe about how you feel. Quite an energizing breath. And then bring the hand all the way back up. And then this time, block off the left nostril with the little finger. And you're going to swap it out. So you're going to inhale through the right. Block off the right with the thumb. Exhale through the left. There's your rhythm. Inhale right. Exhale left. Your speed. Then block off the left, inhale through the right. Again, pause the breath and think about your navel. Think about the root of your body and then squeeze up and in. And when you're ready, exhale, let the breath go. Beautiful. Hands back onto the knees, thumb and forefinger together. Just let the breath come back to a steady rhythm. And the changes can be super subtle. They don't have to be like really powerful. Keeping an open mind about this breath work and just seeing where it takes you. And then an invitation just to swap the shins out again. If you want to lean back into the hands and separate the feet and just drop the knees side to side, feel free to do that. Just make sure you're not getting tight. And we sat here for a little bit of time at the start. It's good to move. Lovely. And then come with the other shin back in front. And then we're going to do a little bit of spinal flex and then a little twist. So the hands will be on the front shin. Doesn't matter which one it is. Inhale the chest forward. So the spine is long and the heart is lifted. The kind of chest comes through. Then as you exhale, you round the spine and you kind of bring the navel in. So inhale forward, exhale round. And then you might just get into a nice steady rhythm. That's the movement. See, my head remains still. I'm going to close my eyes and focus in between my eyes. But you don't have to do that, but maybe you do. And then the breath can be powerful, like a audible breath. So something like this. Stay for a little bit longer, making sure you're nice and relaxed through the shoulders and the face. Try not to grip there. Movement is from the spine. And for this final part, you can stay with the hands on the front shin, or you can slide the hands onto your knees and bring a little bit more of a flex through the mid and the upper spine. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center. And take a full exhale. Beautiful. Nice. Bring the palms and the face up again, just for a tiny moment. Maybe the thumb and the forefinger are together. And just check in with your stillness and just see how you feel. Maybe a little buzz or hum of energy. It can be really subtle. And then from here, just a twist, and then we're going to come onto all fours. So bring the hands onto the shoulders. You've got your little fingers at the front, your thumbs at the back. We're just going to twist from side to side. So you inhale left, you exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And the speed is up to you. Don't push it. You don't have to go too quick. It might be really slow. But always inhale left, always exhale right. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center. And exhale. Bring the hands all the way down. Final time we'll do this. Palms face up. Drop into some stillness. Just let the breath come back to a steady rhythm. And then again, just check in with your experience. Nice. And then if your eyes are closed, just very gently blink your eyes open, and then we'll come on to all fours. So do that really gently. Coming on to all fours, removing anything that is in the way, and then maybe just stretching one leg back. So all fours first of all, spread out through your fingers, and then press into your right leg, and then just a little bit of movement backwards and forwards here. Just notice how that feels. Let's do a little twist, not for long. So turn your right toes to the long right edge of your mat. And as you do that, bring the sole of the foot down, kind of seal the inside of the arch and then the outside of the arch. And the left hand's right in the center of your mat. And then just inhale your right arm up. Have a little stretch out here. You can look down. You haven't done a huge amount of work in the neck really at all. So try not to strain it. In fact, let the head be nice and loose. Roll the right shoulder back a little bit more. Nice. And then as you exhale, come to bring that right hand down and then swap the left out. So left leg is long, a little bit of backwards and forwards movement. That can feel pretty good. Nice. And then again, just turn the left toes to the long left edge of your mat. Right hand in the center. Inhale, left arm up. You're trying to think about this wrist to wrist connection. So really roll the left shoulder back. Doesn't matter how far it does come back. Don't strain. Let the head be loose. Take one more round of breath. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand down, back to all fours. And now we're going to move through some cat and cow. So inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head, lift your heart. Exhale, round your spine. And a rhythm that feels good for you. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. So you've got time to experiment with what you need. You can always pause. You can move a little quicker if that's what you want today. You can move nice and slowly. You can maybe swing the hips a little bit side to side. I like to close the eyes and just think about the area in between my eyebrows. With every inhale, drop the belly down, lift the head, lift the heart. Every exhale, push into the hands, really round the back, separate the shoulders. So just like a wave-like motion. And then the breath might guide and you just kind of show you the way in this pose. Another 20 seconds or so. So maybe slow it right down. And then wherever you are, just go through 2 more complete rounds. And then eventually inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, split the knees really wide and come into a child's pose, big toes together. Stretch the arms out in front and then just lay your body down. Maybe stack your head on your hands or just bring your head all the way down onto the floor. And you certainly don't have to be still here. Sometimes it's nice to kind of claw into the fingers a little bit and then activate through the arms and bring the sit bones back onto the heels just a little bit. But do whatever feels good for you. Breathe it out. Just worth spending a little bit more time here this afternoon. Let the breath be really full and nourishing. Kind of breathe into those parts that need it. Maybe it's your lower spine, your shoulders. Maybe breathe right into your upper back. Beautiful, nice. And then with the hands stretched out in front, bring them round if they're not there. Bring yourself back to all fours. Separate the knees right underneath the hips, and then do some big hip circles. Kind of circle the hips a few times one way. Nice. And then come back the other way, just a few big hip circles here. Let the head be nice and loose. And then a nice balance here. This is called sunbird or bird dog, some people call it. So you're going to bring the right leg back. It might be where you want to stay. Point the toes down towards the earth and then your left arm forward. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Maybe gaze just straight ahead or down to your mat. Stay here if you want, or you can bend into the right knee. Sweep the left arm behind. Maybe catch a hold of the foot or the ankle and then kick the foot into the hand. You can look forward. You can look down the left shoulder. Your choice. Breathe out here. Nice. And then when you release the right foot, bring the left hand down, and then the right leg is long, and then press the toes, the outer edge of the left foot. So you're going to cross the right foot over to the left. So your right toes are probably in the top bottom left corner of your mat. And then you can look down the left shoulder towards the toes if that's a stretch that you like. Maybe feel that in your right hip. Nice. And then come back to center and then swap all of that out. So left leg back, right arm forward, or maybe just the left leg's back. Really spread out from the left hand. Maybe bend into left knee, right hand behind. Big quad stretch here as well. It's a balance. Requires a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of strength. So you're bringing all of the key physical benefits of yoga together. Maybe look down the right shoulder. And then when you're ready, bring everything down, right hand down, and then lengthen out through that left leg and bring the left toes right into the bottom right corner of your mat. Press into the toes, and then maybe look down that right shoulder and you just twist it here. Really engage through that left leg. Nice. And then bring everything back to center. And then we're just going to move dynamically like that through that bird dog or sunbird. So you're going to inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. And then as you exhale, you bring everything down. Then you inhale, left leg back, right arm forward, and you bring it down. So you inhale, you expand, and you exhale, you contract. And just move at your rhythm. You get stuck with the breath. Always inhale the leg and the arm out. Always exhale and bring them down. Nice. 3 more either side. And then bring everything back onto your mat. Take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, one more child's pose. Bring the sit bones back. Lay your body down. You might want to bring in a slightly different child's pose than you did earlier, but your choice. Let it all go. Breathe it out. Beautiful, nice. So then bring yourself back to all fours, and then we're going to tuck our toes and come into our first downward facing dog. So lifting the hips nice and high. Separate the feet about hip width apart, maybe a big generous bend in the knees. Think about lengthening the spine more than anything else. And then breathe it out here. Nice deep inhales. And full exhales. Feel free to keep moving, maybe bend one knee, bend the other. Just see what you need. Nice. And then from here, you're going to take an inhale, just ripple forward and come into plank. You can drop the knees at this point, or you can stay high and just take an extra couple of breaths. Try not to rush them. Nice and strong through the arms. And then if you have your knees lifted, drop them down onto the floor, and then keep the elbows tucked in lower really slowly, all the way down onto your belly. And then slide your elbows underneath your shoulders. Maybe come back on your mat a little bit and come into Sphinx pose. Have the feet about hip width apart. Really root down through the forearms, claw the fingertips back and lift the chest. So you feel it in your lumbar spine. So you've got a choice here. You can stay here and just breathe deeply, or you can do a little bit of breath of fire. Remember, breath of fire is a really strong exhale through the nose and a passive inhale through the nose. So it's something like this. So that's the breath. It feels a little bit restricted here in Sphinx because the belly's on the floor. But if you're going to do this breath with me, just take your time. It's activating. Imagine the exhale is like blowing a fly out of the nose, and the inhale just comes in quite naturally. So long, deep breath, or join me in just a little bit of breath of fire. Wherever you are, take a deep inhale. And a full exhale, bring the elbows out wide, and then just bring the forehead all the way down, just come to lie down on your front. You might drop into a deep stillness straight away, or maybe there's a little bit of movement, your choice. But just let the body rest. Nice. And then from here, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, really engage through the arms, press yourself back to all fours. And then again, just come back into a downward facing dog. Do that really slowly, as long as it takes you to get there. There's no rush. And then we're all going to end eventually at the top of our mat. So again, come to the top of your mat any way that feels good for you. I'm going to step my right and then my left up as lightly as I can. It's not always light, but you can do that with as many steps as feels good. When you arrive here, take an inhale just to lengthen your spine. So come up halfway. As you exhale, fold in deep. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. Nice. And then exhale, fold in deep. And then just stay in this standing forward fold. And feel free to separate the feet a bit wider, maybe fold in a little deeper, hinge at the hips. You can sway from side to side. That can feel really good. Feel that relaxation and just release through the lower spine. Maybe rock the weight into the toes a little bit more. And if you feel like you want to, you can lengthen the legs. So maybe take a tiny little bend out the knees. I always encourage a little bend. And then from here, when you're ready, with the hands just dangling, roll all the way up and stand for the first time. Nice. And then bring the feet underneath the hips if they're a bit wider like mine. And then the hands are at heart center. Just a little bit of flow with some variations. So first of all, take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Press the hips forward, maybe a little hint of a back bend. As you exhale, fold all the way back in. Nice. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. As you exhale, hands down, and then step one foot back, then the other. And just arrive in your plank. You can be here in high plank or low plank with your knees down. When you're ready, let's all drop our knees, lower nice and slowly to the floor. You can keep the bottom quite high, bring everything down towards the mat, and then inhale into a little baby cobra. Nice. And then as you exhale, push back into child's pose. So split the knees nice and wide. Take 2 breaths here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then press yourself back to all fours. Then lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Nice. When you're ready, bend your knees, hinge your hips. Look between the hands. Gently bring yourself forward. Inhale to lengthen, hands maybe on the shins or the knees. Exhale to fold. Root down into the feet, come all the way up, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more like that. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Nice. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. Exhale, hands down, 1 foot back, then the other. Inhale here, just to find length in your plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, come through into your cobra, maybe lifting a little higher this time if it feels appropriate. Exhale, lifting the hips. Feel that rebound and stay nice and high here. Head is loose, hips are high, lengthen the spine. Nice. When you're ready, end of your exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to re-lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold in deep. Root down, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And just keep moving with the breath. A few variations. Inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands down. This time we're just going to step the right foot back, drop the right knee, and then maybe go nice and wide with the feet. Inhale, sweeping your arms all the way up. Nice. As you exhale, you're going to open out to the right. Open the arms to the right. So we're going to move in and out with the breath. Inhale back to center, lifting up. Exhale, arms to the left. Maybe look down the arm. Inhale all the way to center. Exhale to the right. Maybe look up the arm so you can kind of change the gaze. Inhale all the way up. Exhale left, open the arms out. Inhale up. Exhale right. One more other side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, final time. Exhale to the right. Nice. Inhale up. And then exhale, frame the left foot. Tuck the toes on the right. See if you can just step that left foot back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Breathe in deeply here. When you're ready, bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands. Gently bring yourself through. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up high and wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then what we'll do is we'll do a little twist again, but this time I'd like you to keep your hips square on, so you're not going to kind of twist to the side. You're going to keep the hips square to the top of your mat. So maybe go a little wider with your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And then exhale, open the arms to the right. But this time, look forward and think about your hips and square your hips off. Now you've got an opportunity to turn the head all the way down to look at your right thumb. Keep the hips square on at the front. Take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, sweep both arms forward. So the right arm is going to meet the left. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Shoot the left foot back. Come into low lunge. Soften the left knee down. When you're ready, inhale. Sweep the arms all the way up. Make sure you're comfortable here. Nice. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, open the arms to the left. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to the right. So we're back into that dynamic movement. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale open to the left. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. One more round. Inhale up. Exhale left. Nice deep inhale all the way up. Final time. Exhale to the right. Beautiful. Inhale up. And then exhale. Frame the right foot. Step it in if you need to. This time into plank. Step the right foot back into plank. Nice. As you exhale, drop your knees lower to the floor. Nice and controlled as you do that. Inhale. Come back into cobra. Exhale into your final downward facing dog. Really nice work. Breathe it out here. Maybe give the head a little shake if that feels good. Notice how you feel here. And then final child's pose, just because it's such a beautiful pose, it's worth coming into it 3 times. So the toes together, knees wide, or you can always bring the knees a little closer together. Maybe have a little wriggle and move around. If you wanted to bring your elbows forward, you can make a prayer behind your neck and you'll feel more of a stretch into your triceps, upper back, your shoulders. Or you can bring the hands down by the feet like this with the palms face up. So choose something that works for you. Maybe the palms just forward. And drop into some stillness, breathe it out. Take 2 more rounds of breath wherever you found yourself. And when you're ready, bring your hands down by your knees, press into your hands. And then just to sit on your heels just for a moment. If you want to sit cross-legged at this point, feel free if it doesn't feel comfortable. Palms can face up. Just notice the effects of your practice. There's a fair amount of movement there. We'll use the breath quite vigorously in stages of the class. Quite a lot of twisting. Just let the body settle down. Again, just noticing the effects of your practice. And then we'll come back to a seated position with our legs crossed when you're ready. So just a couple more things to do really quickly, and then we'll be into Shavasana. We'll have a nice 5 minutes in Shavasana. So just breathing a little bit deeper here. You can do 2 things. We're going to bring our hands onto our ribs. You can do it this way, just with the hands and the elbows out, or you can give yourself a little hug and you cross the arms and then you hold on to the ribs nice and high. I like this. It feels good, feels comforting. And sitting nice and tall, maybe closing your eyes. And just breathing deeply into your hands. And taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the nose. Or if you feel like you want to release a bit more, you can release it. See how deeply you can breathe here. Just take a couple more complete rounds of breath. And when you're ready, you're going to come and lie down on your back. It's the first time we've been there, so do that really gently. Maybe just lengthen the legs down your mat. You come down any way that feels good. If you want a blanket or anything like that, make sure you grab a blanket. That can feel quite nice. And you can hook your knees in towards your belly. Have a little rock on your spine. And then a Shavasana that works for you today. Traditionally, the legs are long, but if you're feeling anything going on in the lower back, then you can always do this and bend the knees and stay with the feet planted and bring the knees together. You can stay seated, your choice. Let's see if you can make yourself 10% more comfortable than you already are, and then just drop into a couple of minutes of silence and stillness. I'll be quiet for this 2 minutes. And then when you're ready here, very gently and slowly, just bringing some movement back into your body. Do that any way that feels good. Maybe start with the fingers and the toes. You can make the movements a little bit bigger. Maybe give the body a good stretch out. You can hug your knees in towards your belly. And you can roll to one side, or maybe you roll up on the spine. Nice. And then when you arrive, bring your hands up to your heart center. Beautiful. And then maybe just bowing your head down towards your prayer, and nice and simple, wish yourself well and wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. It's really nice teaching today, and for the whole of 2023. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Irene, for your comments, and Margaret, always nice to have you along. Jackie, you were saying about sitting cross-legged. I would say if it hurts your back to sit cross-legged, then you can always sit in a chair for a lot of those poses that we did. You know, when we're doing the twists, you can sit with your bottom kind of towards the front of a chair, and you can do that. You can always sit with your legs out as well, and you could do some of the postures lying on your back. I know what you mean about sitting cross-legged. It doesn't feel that comfortable. What I would also suggest, if you come back from an operation, is sit up on something, so you can build like a little throne. So maybe you've got some cushions or blankets or pillows, and raise your hips up so you're not feeling that pressure in your lower spine, because that can sometimes be really uncomfortable, and you're trying to concentrate on your yoga, and then you're just thinking my back hurts all the time. I would start sitting in a chair and just doing some nice twists, and all this stuff we did at the start, when we were kind of rounding the spine, that can all be done from a chair. The twist can be done from a chair. The side to side movements can be done from a chair. So start there, and then as your back improves, then see if you can get back on the floor, but build yourself up nice and slowly. All right, everyone. Happy Christmas to you all. Hope you have a great new year, and I'll see you back first week in January. Namaste. Look after yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.